Well, here we are in Chicago for the NBA Draft Lottery in 2024. Wizards GM Will Dawkins joining us after finding out that Washington gets the number 2 pick in the upcoming draft. I just want your initial reaction to finding out that number 2 is a spot for you.
Yeah, good day for the Wizards. That's my initial response. I think I was pretty excited down in the room, tried to be stoic, but when you get an opportunity to pick high up in the draft, you're really grateful and look forward to going through whatever that process leads to getting us to June draft.
Indeed, you talk about process. If you don't mind kind of taking us behind the curtain, because you were in a different position. Bilal was on the stage. You were in the room. What is the process about the NBA Draft Lottery and your role in that?
Yeah, so it was my first time actually being in the actual lottery room. We find out an hour before everyone else, so we've been sequestered and locked down for a little bit without our phones and iWatches and anything. So
they took everything.
Yeah, so our excitement isn't as high as now as we've known for a little while as everybody else, but it's a good process. The league comes up, Byron explains everything that's going on. We get to see the lottery balls as they come. One thing though, it doesn't go 14 down to 1, so it kind of goes in reverse order. So we find out who gets the first pick first, then second. So it's not as dramatic as sometimes on the TV. So we knew once 2 came up, we knew where we were at.
And as far as us on the TV side, yeah, you could feel it in the room. We're watching it count down from 15 to 1, and I'm like, wait,
hold on.
Who? No, not again. Oh, okay, 2. So we're happy with number 2. But with that said, you had Bilal Coulibaly representing the organization on the step. Just your thoughts on the season that he had and his ability to be able to represent the organization.
Yeah, I'm glad Bilal was able to come and represent the Wizards. He obviously had a similar experience like this last year, but was playing deep in the playoffs. So he couldn't come and attend something like this. So we thought it was important to get him in Chicago, see what it's like. But more so, he obviously ended the season with a wrist injury, and he's back and working and grinding. So we wanted to make sure while he was in D.C., brought him over here to Chicago to represent the organization.
I love the fact that he's been able to take the strides that he has organizationally. And now we're almost getting that first lap complete for you.
Yeah,
we're getting close to the first lap being completed. But what are the next steps for the organization? Because I know Combine's coming up next. But what are the next steps for Wizards fans to pay attention to?
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We got through lottery. This is a really, really important week for us and our organization, especially the talent evaluators. We'll spend a lot of time meeting some high-level candidates in terms of players that have gone through their entire career, and we'll meet them here at the Combine, have some time to interview them, but then also see them do some on-court work. A lot of times at night, there'll be some agent workouts where we'll get to see some players that weren't invited to the Combine workout as well. And then next week, we'll see a little bit more pro workouts in LA and some of those natures, so we can kind of go see guys, more agent workouts, and then at that point they start coming to DC. They start spending time with us on our turf and really get to look under the hood and see who they are and what they're about. So it's a fun selection process, but film every single day up until that point.
Does it create any extra challenges with so many international players that are there? Obviously, if they're domestic, you can get on a domestic flight and be there in 3 hours. But when you have a lot of international players, what challenges does that present to you guys?
Yeah,
how do you overcome them? No,
for sure. I see less of challenge and more advantage. If you're willing to go the extra step, if you're willing to put that time in, if you're making sure you're watching those games, but taking those long flights and being willing to do that, you can find a way to get an advantage in that. And I think our scouts have been over. They've been paying a lot of attention to it. There's obviously a lot of international players in this draft and at the top of this draft. And to us, it's just basketball. So we're going to find the best player and the best person that fits the Wizards. And we have a few picks, so hopefully we'll select a few of them. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with Will Dawkins, GM of your Washington Wizards, live here in Chicago at the culmination of the NBA Draft Lottery. Wizards coming in at number 2.